He's twice in recent times been responsible for 1-0 United victories here, and he's put them 1-0 in front this time. Coming in unopposed beyond the far post. Cole inside Ablett, Beckham's cross, worthy of Kanchelskis, and Sharp did the necessary. Everton 0, Manchester United. Switch to the right-hand side with Kanchelskis off, and coming in there to pounce on some confusion for Steve Bruce, caused by Hinchcliffe's challenge, and Limpar took it superbly. Everton back in business. No time for Bruce to dwell. Anders Limpar. It's Everton 1, Manchester United 1. Bruce will hold up his hand to take the blame. Limpar can hold up his hand. Time. It's Beckham. Oh, against the bar! Magnificent free kick. Ben at the start of the second half. As I said earlier, it's very much his ground, this one. And Andy Cole was juggling the ball perhaps for his own gain, but it was Sharp who secured the chance and secured the goal to put Manchester United back in front. Free kick. Anders Limpar with 1 goal to his name already. Andy Hinchcliffe, who is an accomplice in that, is also on the scene. Graham Poll having problems getting the wall back. Limpar. Oh! Watson. Ryder has put it in. It was a long time coming as it bobbled around in the penalty area, but Everton are level. An inquest in the Manchester United defence. Limpar as unlucky it seemed as Beckham had been towards the end of the first half, but Watson put it into the danger area and Paul Rideout put it into the back of the Manchester United net. So Rideout damages United again as he did in the FA Cup final. It's 2-2 now. The end of a long time, more than a year, without a league goal for Ryan Giggs, and a very timely return to scoring form. Parkinson played Everton into trouble. Beckham was on it in a flash. Giggs had the chance and he took it magnificently, knowing all about Neville Southall, but having the composure to beat him, and it makes you wonder how Giggs has gone such a long time without a league goal. It's going to be just one of those days for Joe Royle and Everton, maybe.
It's the opponent's goal from this sort of range. Bergkamp. Time remaining at the end of the game. Ian Wright wins the game for Arsenal. Well, Dennis Bergkamp hasn't scored, but he's created this goal. And Ian Wright helps the ball past Ike Emil, who I think will have to shoulder some responsibility for allowing this header to move past him. Ian Wright's third goal in 5 Premier League games this season.
Les Ferdinand may not be flavour of the month for England coach Terry Venables, but he's made an excellent start to his Newcastle career with 4 goals so far, the Premier's leading scorer. Newcastle were defending the country's last 100% league record, and although not at their most fluent, they still gave Southampton plenty of defensive work. Dave Besant on top form here to keep out Ferdinand. But Southampton's own persistent endeavour was rewarded on 65 minutes. A sublime pass from Matt Letizia that let in Jim Magilton for only the second goal Newcastle have conceded this season. That's how it stays at Southampton's first win. A reassuring sight for Tottenham fans was England winger Darren Anderton, starting his first game since recovering from a hernia operation. In the lead side was Gary Speed, who scored the winner for Wales against Moldova in midweek. 4 games without a win, Tottenham's start has been far from convincing, but they opened the scoring in this game on 27 minutes. Anderton's corner headed in from long range by David Howe. Leeds replied with a chance for Gary McAllister. Ian Walker's expertise denied the captain a goal. But 7 minutes into the second half, it was one apiece. That man, Tony Yeboah again, his 4th of the season, collected forcefully from a cross by the impressive Carlton Palmer. But midway through the second half, Tottenham served up what proved to be the winner. England striker Teddy Sheringham meeting a cross from Chris Armstrong to wrong-foot Lukic. Still Leeds persevered and they almost saved a point. In the final minute, Yeboah hit the post. But Spurs held on for that important first win. For Leeds, the unbeaten run is over. Among England's successes against Colombia in midweek was Liverpool's Jamie Redknapp. He played impressively alongside Paul Gascoigne on his debut. But at club level, this wasn't to be his team's day, as Liverpool found Wimbledon as resilient as ever. Phil Babbo almost embarrassed goalkeeper Paul Heel. An extraordinary scene on 25 minutes then stunned the crowd. Wimbledon defender Andy Thorne clashed with Stan Collymore, and in his efforts to separate the two, Captain Vinnie Jones dived in typically in aggressive fashion. After much consultation, the red card was waved by referee Burge, and Thorne presumed it was for him. Not so, as it transpired. It was Jones who was sent off, and Thorne was recalled from the dressing room. The delay lasted a full 4 minutes, and when the match did resume, it was the 10 men of Wimbledon who went in front on the half hour. Ironically, it was from a free kick by Thorne, and it was an own goal. Bam, the unfortunate Liverpool defender. Liverpool mounted a wave of attacks. Collymore, on his return to the team after injury, struck the crossbar. But Wimbledon simply soaked it all up, with some crucial saves from Heel. Here he first deprived Robbie Fowler of a goal, and then eventually recovered to keep out the follow-up from Steve McManaman. Wimbledon stand third in the Premier. After this, their 3rd win in the first 5 games. With Tim Flowers suspended after his sending off against Queen's Park Rangers, Bobby Mims was keeping goal for a Blackburn team whose hold on the title has been decidedly shaky in the opening matches. The prospect of Rovers' losing run being stretched even further was soon growing, thanks to a moment Villa's Yugoslav import, Savo Milosevic, will clearly treasure. The £3.5 million signing from Partizan Belgrade penned his first league goal on English soil with a glorious strike on 33 minutes. But while Alan Shearer's England goal drought continues, it's a different story at club level. Another perfect execution early in the second half to bring Rovers the equaliser. Shearer, indeed, was Villa's concern throughout. Mark Bosnich in the Villa goal rescued his team this time. The Rovers had to settle for a point. This is about for Dion Dublin's header. Mark Crossley had been totally stranded by that with just 10 minutes gone, and it was an even more glaring defensive error that led to Forest's equaliser 13 minutes later. Mind you, there was still plenty of work still to be done after Paul Williams' aberration, but then Brian Roy as a quality finisher. The Coventry are showing plenty of flair under Ron Atkinson. His capture for next to nothing of the Brazilian Azaias has raised many an admiring eyebrow. Just a few minutes into the second half, Forest fans had their first glimpse in a first-team shirt of the Italian Andrea Silenzi. He did well too, and will hope to be in the starting lineup against Malmo in the UEFA Cup on Tuesday. Coventry had more of the chances, but couldn't take them. This was Paul Telfer testing the reflexes of Crossley. 1-1 at Highfield Row. That's now 4 draws in a row for Nottingham Forest. Queen's Park Rangers have had a mixed start to the season, but the early signs were encouraging for them against Sheffield Wednesday. Rufus Breffett hitting the bar with Kevin Pressman beaten. But Wednesday were much improved in the second half and assumed control once Mark Bright had given them the lead on 55 minutes. This after a shot from Mark Pembridge had been deflected into his path. Bright then doubled Wednesday's lead on the hour. A fine volley from a cross by Romanian international Dan Petrescu. Rangers seem low on confidence now, and their problems were heightened with a third setback late on. A goal this time for O'Neill Donaldson on his first full appearance for Wednesday after Julian Watts had helped on a Pembridge corner. No way back for Rangers, who left the field to a chorus of disapproval. Nick Barmby took over from the injured Peter Beardsley for England on Wednesday and played so well that the Newcastle veteran may now find it hard to reclaim his place. Barmby was in the Middlesbrough attack for this meeting of last season's 2 promoted teams, and the home side were ahead on 24 minutes with an excellent goal from Scottish international John McGinley. But finally on 77 minutes, the leveller that Borough deserved. A delightful 1-2 involving Barmby that presented Craig Hignett with a chance to score. 1-1 that finished at Burnden Park. Southampton's defeat of Newcastle idolised too as a player at Southampton, but there was no happy return for him. He's yet to win at the Dell as a manager, and the man he admires so much, Matt Le Tissier, out in Shaw, his day was spoiled again.